Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi to our beloved lecturer, T.S. Nur Saidi Mahat. We are from Group 1 AP 1164A, would like to present about our case study building. Our group members led by Sharifah Nurul Afikah binti Wan Ahmad, Dayang Azizah binti Abang Mustafa, Nur Kristina binti Muhammad Hafiz James, Elina Enisha binti Aziz, Nur Farhana Kamila Dama, last but not least, Nur Akmal Hazim bin Mazlan. The main goals of this subject is to raise awareness of the essential necessity of health, safety, and environmental protection in construction. This case study requires us to produce a report to searching for one incident in construction site. Regarding to this case study, we have chosen an accident in construction site that is published on 23 of May 2019 in Malay Mail article, which is building collapse near Gombak LRT terminal that caused Indonesian couple found in embrace.
Marcus Tullius Cicero's once said, "The safety of the people is the highest law. Indeed, as we must always be cautious wherever we go, because we can never predict whether minor or even major incidents will occur, especially on the construction sites." According to the news published by the New Straits Times on May 29, 2019, the Gombak building, which is still under construction, has collapsed. The building was said to have collapsed around 1 a.m., resulting in the deaths of 2 Indonesian workers and serious injured to 3 others. The 2 Indonesian was discovered dead under piles of rubble believed to have been crushed by falling iron beams, while the other 3 injured workers' conditions were not described in detail. The collapse affected the entry route in the loading bay, and construction work has been halted for the time being. The Malaysian Construction Industry Development Board (CIDB) reminded industry participants to prioritize safety in their respective construction projects. Section 24(1)(c) of the CIDB Act, namely Act 520, based on the survey, states that contractors are responsible for ensuring the safety of buildings and development works, while on the other hand, CIDB Chief Executive Dato' Ahmad Asri Abdul Hamid has highlighted the importance of maintaining safety on the construction site. He also highlights the role of the collaboration among all parties involved in the development of a project or building, including clients, consultants, and contractors, to ensure safety before, during, and after development work. It is also stated that contractors who causes that will be fined 500,000 or imprisoned for approximately 2 years or both.
Assalamualaikum and hi, I am Dayang Azizah binti Abang Mustafa. I would like to talk about the possible causes or faults on our case study building. The failure of a structure or component of a building is referred to building collapse. Buildings, like other structures, are built to withstand specific loads without deforming excessively. Following are possible causes and faults for our case study building. First, the building materials are not strong enough to withstand the load that utilized in the building's construction. It is important to construct a structure using high-quality materials in order to ensure the construction durability and longevity. In our case study of the building collapse, they may have used low-quality materials in order to save money on construction. Second, the foundations are too weak. For our case study structure, which is fairly tall, a solid foundation is required in order for it to stand for a long period. It also may have had a weak foundation. Since its collapse, killing 2 Indonesian couple at the site, it is critical to assess the quality of foundation construction for a high-rise structure, since it requires greater strength to remain standing. Next, errors in structural design is also possible causes and faults for the case study building. All structures are intended to support their own loads without undue deformation. A poor design might affect the durability of the building structure. Even a little risk of a failure in building design must be tolerated, since it might have devastating consequences for human life and property, like the case of our study that took lives of Indonesian married couple from a collapsed building next to Gombak LRT terminal in Taman Melati.
Another possible cause and fault is lack of maintenance. Regarding our case study, the most likely cause of the building case study collapse, as the most building owners these days disregard the necessity of building maintenance. These such incidents will never happen if the maintenance adheres to the standard and professional. The maintenance of every building is essential because it is required in every improvement. Typically, maintenance labor consists of repairing, servicing building components. Damage occur in a building when component of the building is unable to function properly. In a nutshell, the management should track the progress of all the maintenance work done completely in the building. Next is overloading. Overloading is natural occurrence that occur when a building collapses in construction site. Overloading also one of the most likely reasons for the building collapse. Probably, this one of the reasons that caused incident near Gombak LRT terminal. Considering our case study building, the load is likely to exceed the building structure and kill both the couple, and it was caused by the placement of heavy building material or machine in the building. Even though the foundation and the materials are stable and adequate for the construction building, additional building may change its function. Before apply any heavy loads in the building, it is important to ensure the building is appropriately restrained and braced. Last but not least, another issue that contributes to building collapse is defective construction. Defective construction is a major problem that can influence the quality of construction, causing the building to collapse. However, defective construction is one of the most hazardous issues that could endanger people or the building itself. According to our case study building, one of the likely causes of the building collapse at the Gombak LRT terminal is defective construction. Both of the couple died as the result of the accident, which was most likely caused by the structure's instability. In a nutshell, a lack of various persons to verifying the design or structure of the building might result in building collapse.
Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Nofarhana Kamila Dama and I'll be presenting about precaution and safety. Construction workers on construction site engage in variety of activities that may expose them to a variety of safety hazards such as falling objects, working from rooftop or scaffolding, being exposed to heavy construction equipment or using temporary electrical circuit while operating electrical equipment and machinery in a damp location. There are few precaution and safety that construction workers need to apply at the construction site. First is all construction workers must wear personal protective equipment (PPE) all the times. This is because it is essential for all construction workers since the majority of accidents are caused by variety of construction risks. To optimize safety and efficiency, the whole construction industry builds building to be as safe as possible. Unfortunately, the majority of risks are prevented prior to construction completion. Therefore, by wearing PPE, it can reduce the risk of hazard in the construction site, such as the head is designed to protect any fleeing or falling object that is result in head injury. Second is all construction employees must have received an induction before doing any construction job. A construction site induction is a safety briefing given to workers at the outset of a project to ensure they are aware of the safety regulation and control in place, the hazard they may encounter and how to operate safely on the site. In addition, the induction covers health and safety standard, first aid arrangement and site needs. In the construction industry, every time a person starts working on a new site, they must go through an induction site briefing. Moreover, all workers at the construction site must keep their site tidy. Construction is a dirty business, whether it's a commercial or residential, large or little. Each site has its own set of dirt, dust, poisonous waste, and other trash that can not only clog things up, but also pose a health and safety concern. With that in mind, a clean, transparent construction site should be at the top of the company's priority list. It will assist to minimize the chance of workplace injuries or illnesses and all workers' compensation insurance claim, as well as contributing to a variety of the other beneficial workplace trends. Last but not least, all workers at the construction site must follow safety signs and procedure at the site. Safety signs are essential element of worker safety and awareness in many workplaces, from construction site to warehouse. All of these safety signals should be memorized by worker and they should have been explained to them at the site induction. Employers on the construction site must safeguard the safety of their workers and conduct risk assessments for their action. Furthermore, safety signs are in place to assist, prevent and decrease harm in order to guarantee that all workers and visitors are completely prepared for any risk that may arise in the future in various areas of work. The majority of safety signs are color-coded and classified, although not every sign is required in every job. It is to ensure the worker can notice the sign even they are far away to give precaution for them at the construction site. That's all for me. Thank you.
I'm Norman Hazimi Mazad, and I'm gonna explain corrective measure. A corrective measure is an action, is a way to promote a culture of safety at its best. This will ensure that the workplace is safe to everyone, especially the worker, by taking appropriate action after the incident. Based on the incident on Gombak LRT Terminal in Taman Melati, the incident of falling iron beams can be caused by structural failure, concrete defect, the workers are being careless, and many more possible causes for the incident. The first causes and correction measure that I will explain is the causes of concrete defect, which is cracking. Defects, as we all know, due to the quality of raw materials, movement of concrete due to physical characteristics, and others. Corrective measure that we can take is the cement ratio should be correct. The surface should be prevented against rapid evaporation. The other causes, which is structural failure, for example, the foundation are too weak, building materials are not strong enough, unqualified workmanship, and poor supervision, and many more. Correction measure that we can take is do an inspection of steel by the engineer before placing concrete. The structural engineer should design the structural building carefully and accurately.
In conclusion, this accident was caused by inadequate exposure to building site safety. The employer is responsible for carrying out hazard identification, risk analysis, and risk control operation at the construction site to ensure the safety of all employees. If the employer does not ensure and is not responsible for the employee's safety, the employer will be fined. Aside from the company responsibilities, employers on construction site are also responsible for adhering to all of the guidelines set by the employer and constantly prioritizing their own safety.
That's all from us. Thank you.